Hey guys, it's Chad from Dirtboard TV. Today we got a new car in the group. It is a 2019 Honda Talon R, and we are going to install some MudBuster fender flares on it, which are called the fender extensions, and we're going to install the mud guards. I want to give a big shout out to all my subscribers out there. I appreciate you. If you like this video and the content, please give a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe to Dirtboard TV. And thank you, MudBusters, for another excellent set of fenders. Hey, YouTube. We're ready.
Music over this.
How many foot-pounds is that preload on there, Travis?
About 2 clicks.
And pull it where you go. Well, let's get this box open and see what we've got in here. Okay, this is a rear fender. This would be your passenger side rear fender. This would be your driver's side rear fender. Mud guard, driver's side mud guard. Passenger side mud guard. This would be driver's side front fender. Passenger side front fender. Oh, we got some MudBuster, a couple MudBuster hats here. Thank you, MudBusters. Hardware kit. Let's see what's in here. Plenty of hardware, push pins, nuts, bolts, washers, brackets. Two sets of instructions and MudBuster sticker. Instructions for your mud guards and a separate instructions for your front and rear fender extensions. So now that we have everything laid out, let's get started on the install. Okay, here's what it's going to take to do this whole project. You're going to need your instructions for your MudBuster mud guards and your instructions for your MudBuster fender flares. You're going to need a 1/4-inch drill bit, a 9/32, a 7/16 wrench, a 4mm Allen. I use this for the push pins, just to push those rivets in. This is a push pin rivet remover. It works great. You can get it at Harbor Freight. Of course, tape measure. Use straight edge, something to mark with. I used a bowl here, just something to keep all the rivets and nuts and bolts in. And you're going to need a drill. That should be all it takes to do this install. Alright, first thing you want to do is remove this factory push pin down here. Pull it out. We have your MudBuster fender extension, put that right back in. Now line everything up and make sure you have a 9/32 drill bit. And I'm going to work these up because if I just jump to one of the top ones, you're not going to have these holes lined up. So I'm going to stay down low here. I'm going to work this one, then work my way to the top. Now we're going to send them home. Sometimes you can use the backside of a screwdriver so you can really push on these. I don't seem to have a problem, but just to make sure they get in there all the way. They all look really good. There you go. Okay, we've moved on to the rear here. We're going to do the mud guard first before we do the rear fender. Get the mud guard up in here. And you have to get it through this bracket, metal bracket over there. Like so. Looks pretty good. Use your 9/32 drill bit. Remember, do not go all the way through here. You have your voltage regulators in here. Okay, let's try to get, I'm gonna go with this one right here. Sometimes I do use a tool. This one here is a little tricky. Alright guys, we're moving on to the back here for the back fender. This fender on the R goes all the way up here and you have to remove these 3 push pins. It says to do it later in the instructions, but I find that it's easier to do it first because then you don't have this gigantic fender flopping around here and you're trying to work behind the fender. So what I'll do is I'll take these push pins out. There's 3 of them here, and these do not get reused. This is where follow your instructions on assembling these brackets that go here. So I'll show you the brackets. You have 2 brackets, or 3 brackets, I'm sorry. One of them is a 2-inch bracket, and then you'll have 2 of the 1.5-inch brackets. The 2-inch bracket goes up top, the 1.5s go down on the bottom. If you pay attention, and I only found this out by reading the directions and looking at the pictures, that on the bracket, one of these go up and one of these go down. And you'll have this, the nut side will be on the back, not the front. With these brackets, you're going to take a 25mm bolt on the first one here, and you have to go in behind this piece of plastic. So let's give her a shot. Go in behind that piece of plastic, up in there, stick your 25mm bolt through. Okay, so once you have your piece installed here, you're going to stick your 25mm bolt in there, washer, and nut on. This one does, this is now, we're using a 20mm bolt, just a locking nut. You do not have to have a washer on this one. Then on to the third one, we're going to install another 20mm bolt with a locking nut, no washer. Get it behind this edge here. Up in there. And what I like to do is I like to tighten these down. These are going to take the 4mm Allen and a 7/16 open end on the bottom. I'll use the boxed end on the other 2. Make sure you line up your clips now because it'll be a pain later. Okay, moving on to installing the rear fender. First thing you need to do is remove the push pin at the rear here, so you can get, it's right here, to get the fender aligned. Okay, once you have the pin in, your fender is going to go up like that. You need a 1/4 inch drill bit. Start with the center one first. What I like to do is kind of align this. To where she's looking pretty good. Make sure it's hitting your holes up front here. Looks decent. You're going to take a 40mm bolt, a 7/8 spacer, nylock nut, and a washer. Washer and your nut. Just loosely installed. Number 2 is going to be the one to the back here. Double check, make sure everything's looking really good. Now you're going to use a 30mm with the smaller washer, 5/8 spacer, I am going to remove that push pin so I can get my hand in there. Like so. Push pin back. Install washer and lock nut. loosely. Move on. Now we are at the third one. This is going to be another 40 millimeter 7/8 spacer. Washer, lock nut. Hand tight. Now let's move on down here to the brackets. It says to use 20 millimeter bolts on these brackets, but I found out that you don't have enough. So on the outer ones, I use the 25s because I have extra 25s. Because 20s also go in here. If I use the 20s here, then I'll have to be using the 25s up in this area, and I don't want to do that. So let's start with the 20 millimeters. That's a 20. See, I'll put a 25 out here. I'll do a 25 on this one. Whoops. Sorry, I'm gonna have to stick my head in here and take a look. There it goes, it straightened it up. And then a 20 on the bottom. So I am going to tighten starting from up here. I'm going to do this one first, and I'm going to work my way down so I can get everything pulled up nice and tight to the fender. Then I'll finish these two up top. Okay, so we have two left to do, and they're in here. There's a couple different options you have. You can just screw it in there and not worry about how it lines up. But if you watch the Talon X video that we did, I come in the inside, and I'm going to use a straight edge. We're going to mark center. So, I'm going to take that straight edge, line it up, I'm going to hit the center. Right there. Same thing over here. Straight edge, line it up, hit center. Right there. Then take your drill bit, quarter inch, now this is just because I'm so OCD. I do not want the bolt up here in the plate, down low. I don't want it crooked. I just wouldn't be able to live with myself if it was crooked. This takes two 20mm bolts. Washers on the back side, nuts on the back side. Okay, let's tighten those down. Now I'll take you around, zoom in on that a little bit, show you. Take you around to the other side, show you how it looks underneath there. So everything is straight and square. So Honda Talon, I'd like to thank all you guys out there, especially our subscribers. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so every time we put out a video you'll be notified. We've got a lot coming up with this machine, the other machines that we have that are in our fleet. This one here is getting a crash off-road cage. It's about 5 to 6 weeks out right now. We did order some Mickey Thompson tires for this, After we ordered it, they ended up letting us know that we couldn't get the tires, they can't get the tires, we can't find them anywhere else. So we're going to go a different route on that. We just haven't decided. Other than that, stay tuned, and thanks for watching.